Hey guys, how you doing? What's going on? So, what's going on with all these YouTubers quitting now? It's probably a couple of reasons, but it comes down to burnout, I think, many times. People are just getting burnt out. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work when you have to produce videos every day or on a regular basis. You got to edit them. You got to come up with ideas. It's a lot of work. And what I learned decades ago, even if you're doing something that you really like a lot, if you do too much of it, it's going to become work. It's going to supersaturate your brain, and eventually you can go over the cliff, hit burnout, which you never want to do. You don't want to hit burnout. It's like getting too fat. Like, if you're 5-10 pounds overweight, you could, change your diet up, do some fasting, cut out some carbs, drink some water, do some exercise, and you can get that weight down pretty quickly. But if you let yourself go to 100 pounds or 50 pounds or 100 pounds overweight, it takes a lot longer to get that weight back down again. It's kind of like burnout. If you find yourself working too much, and you feel that building up of pressure and you don't step away, take breaks, meditate, do exercise, eat healthy foods, change it up. If you hit that burnout, that cliff, boof, where you actually burn out, and I've done that, it takes a long time to recover, a long time. So you never want to get there. You have to understand what the warning signs are vis-a-vis burnout. Stress, anxiety, always thinking about it. You have to discipline yourself to actually step away from work. This is something you have to do as an entrepreneur, by the way, if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur. The discipline of an entrepreneur is not to do the work. The discipline is to step away from the work, to be able to take a break and go, okay, I've done enough today. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go out for a coffee. I'm going to go for a walk, do a run, whatever it is. But you have to get away from work. Not answer emails, not check up what's going on in the news. Just turn it off. That's the discipline. Humans, because of our lizard brain, we tend to lean towards the binary. We're either all this or all that. We're either super lazy or super hardworking. So you want to be in the middle. You want to have breaks. You want to take time off. Very important. If you want to be hyper productive, the key is to take breaks. So for example, in my mentoring program, I teach people coding and entrepreneurship and how to freelance and how to start a SaaS. All these things I've done myself. And one of the things I talk about is good mental control, good mental stability. I put out a whole course called Lizard Wizard on that, how to train your lower brain, your lizard brain, talking about a lot more about the importance of health and nutrition in terms of maximum brain function and psychology. The number one problem that people run into when they're trying to get into coding or business and whatnot is not intellectual, really. It's psychological. And this goes down to, and burnout is psychological as well. So you got to look for the warning signs. The warning signs is you become a workaholic. So that could lead to burnout at some point. It may take 6 months, it may take 5 years, who knows? It may take 6, 7 years, I don't know. But you don't want to get there. So you want to take breaks. You want to discipline yourself to take breaks. And what will happen is you're going to become far more productive. Something I talked about many, many times. I discovered this decades ago again. The human brain is highly productive at high-level skills, meaning complicated tasks, learning something new, writing code, whatever, something that requires a lot of focus. The human brain could keep this up for maybe 3 to 4 hours on average. Some people maybe do 5. And then after that, your productivity just crashes. So, for example, again, back to the mentoring program, when people are learning how to code, I say do a maximum of 3 to 4 hours a day. I like a maximum. It's fine if you do a half an hour one day, take a break. Actually, I encourage that. I encourage that you train 4 days a week, maybe 5, and take the other days off. You got to give your brain time to create those new neural connections, to relax. You relax through meditation, through exercise. You relax, believe it or not, by not ingesting crappy food. Anyway, so why do a lot of YouTubers burn out? Because they work too much. They don't discipline themselves to take breaks. It's a lot of work. Now, I've done thousands of YouTube videos. On my big channel, I got over 250,000 subscribers. And it started off as a hobby. It's become important as a marketing avenue. You get your name out there, exposure is good. But I know these YouTubers, they really put a lot of time and effort into editing and videography. I don't. So I remember Casey Neistat, who I call him King Vlog, and one of the more successful vloggers out there. And he, I think he was saying he would spend 7 to 8 hours a day to put out a 10-minute video, like between the filming and the planning and the editing. 7 hours a day, 8 hours a day, something like that. It's great for a 10-minute video. Personally, I put out a 10-minute video. It takes me 25 to 30 minutes to get it all done. Videos, because I have an idea, I have a piece of content, I have a subject that I want to discuss. Sometimes I jot down notes, sometimes I don't. Yeah, don't burn yourself out, enjoy the process. If you find it's getting stressful, take a break, take a day off, it's okay. Maybe do a 30-second, 1-minute short, and then that's your piece of content for the day. I don't know. So a lot of them are leaving because they burn out. Also, I think there's a saturation in the market. When you are the only person talking about, camera lenses, you get a larger share of the camera lens viewership and maybe ad revenue. But then when there's 1,000 people talking about camera lenses, and let's face it, it's not a complex subject. This is the new Sony 2.8, blah, 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 G Master. Or this is the new Canon RF lens, blah, blah, blah. Not a big deal, Some people are really good at it because they're just good presenters. Some people are not so good at it. But it doesn't matter. If you have 1,000 people who are just okay at talking about a particular lens, the latest Canon lens, and you may be the best by far. But if there's 1,000 other people and they're bleeding a lot of traffic from you, they're bleeding a lot of ad revenue from you. So I've seen it. So huge creators that used to get pretty big creators used to get 100, 200, 400,000 views of video on average. Now they're down to a third of that. That hurts the revenue bigly, right? Bigly. So it's not a good thing. Anyway, so I think it's that. Also, people just lose interest, right? I have an educational SaaS called Studio Web, and it's cool, and I still supply curriculum and software to a bunch of districts. But I've been doing this for over 10 years, and now I'm moving into more of my mentoring program. It's just more interesting for me at this point in time. Not that there's anything wrong working with the schools, it's great. But I've done it for 10 years, time to move on. And I think a lot of YouTubers are in that situation as well. It's normal, by the way, if you're a younger person watching this, it's normal for people to change careers. Last time I looked at the data, I think on average, the average individual will have eight jobs, maybe 10 different jobs in their life, something like that. Some jobs could only last a few months, who knows? So I've had not many jobs because I haven't had a job working for somebody since I was 18. Last time I had a job, I was a bouncer in a nightclub. Beyond that, I just had businesses, whether it be SaaS businesses. I've had 2 or 3 of those. I've had done lots of contract and freelance work, publishing, publishing. I used to write a lot of articles for magazines. I wrote a book. Anyway, there you go. It's normal for people to switch up careers. If you're an aspiring YouTuber, I think the most important thing is you have to come to it with something different, something unique, something you enjoy. Don't burn yourself out by working too hard at it. Maybe when you're younger, that's when you can push a little hard, but give yourself breaks, Take a couple of days off a week. That makes sense. All right, we'll talk soon.